Welcome to our advanced training module on responsible AI. Today, we are focusing deeply on the essential considerations for transparency in artificial intelligence solutions. Welcome everyone to our advanced training on artificial intelligence. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the foundational principles of responsible AI, with a specific, laser-sharp focus on the considerations for transparency in an AI solution. As you step into the role of an AI architect, data scientist, or developer, understanding these ethical frameworks is absolutely paramount to your success. According to our official Microsoft Learn documentation, responsible AI is a term used to describe the critical considerations for building AI systems that include strict guardrails. These guardrails are explicitly designed to mitigate the risk of harmful, illegal, or offensive content generation, as well as to prevent dangerous automated actions from occurring in the real world. To achieve this, the overarching Microsoft framework outlines 6 core principles that must be embedded into every single phase of the software development lifecycle: fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. While every single one of these pillars plays a vital role in building an equitable and secure system, our primary objective today is to rigorously explore transparency. As we will discover, artificial intelligence applications are incredibly powerful, but they operate much differently than traditional deterministic software. Because of their massive complexity and probabilistic nature, they can often seem entirely mysterious to the end user. Transparency is the deliberate architectural and operational practice of removing that mystery. It is about ensuring that users, developers, and regulatory stakeholders fully understand what the AI is doing, how it is making its determinations, and what its inherent limitations are. Throughout this comprehensive session, we will examine why transparency is absolutely necessary, how to disclose AI usage effectively in real-world scenarios, and how to use advanced tools within Microsoft Foundry to build traceable, highly transparent AI workflows from the ground up. While there is no specific application logic to execute on this introductory slide, architects must translate these responsible AI concepts into programmatic guardrails. Transparency requires that your codebase implements extensive logging and user-facing disclaimers, ensuring that every AI interaction is visibly marked and trackable throughout the application's entire execution flow. Let us begin by defining exactly what we mean when we talk about transparency in artificial intelligence. The official Microsoft Learn training materials note that AI can sometimes seem like absolute magic to those who interact with it. As the famous futurist Arthur C. Clarke once observed, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Generative AI, with its almost miraculous ability to produce human-like original content, poetry, prose, and complex computer code, certainly fits this description. However, as technical professionals, we know there is no wizardry involved in artificial intelligence. It is simply the application of advanced mathematical techniques, statistics, data science, and probabilistic machine learning models. Therefore, the core mandate of the transparency principle is that it is critically important to make users aware of how the system actually works. You must proactively demystify the application. Furthermore, users must be made explicitly aware of any potential limitations the AI system may have. Because AI models are probabilistic rather than deterministic, they are not infallible. They predict the next most likely token based on vast amounts of training data, which means they can hallucinate or produce unexpected results. A transparent AI solution does not hide these limitations behind a sleek user interface. Instead, it brings them to the forefront. If an AI agent might provide an inaccurate summary, the interface should transparently communicate that the output is AI-generated and should be verified. By openly acknowledging that the system relies on statistical probability rather than absolute hard-coded facts, you establish a foundation of trust. Transparency ensures that the user is never misled into believing the AI is a flawless, conscious entity, but rather a powerful, mathematical tool designed to augment human capabilities. To implement this programmatically, your user interface code must explicitly label AI-generated elements. When processing the JSON response from a language model endpoint, your front-end logic should dynamically inject visual indicators, such as a generated by AI badge, and render disclaimer text alongside the payload to transparently inform the user of the system's inherent statistical limitations. This diagram illustrates the logical flow of user interaction with a probabilistic AI model. To truly contextualize the principle of transparency, let us examine a high-stakes, real-world scenario described directly in our Microsoft Learn source materials, an AI-based loan approval application utilized by a bank. In the financial sector, decisions have profound impacts on individuals' lives. If a customer is denied a loan, they deserve to know why, and they absolutely deserve to know if a machine made that decision. According to the Responsible AI Guidelines, a bank that uses an AI-based loan approval application has a strict ethical obligation to actively disclose the use of artificial intelligence to its applicants. The transparency requirement does not stop at a simple disclosure statement. The bank must also describe the features of the data on which the AI model was trained. For instance, the bank should transparently explain that the model evaluates data points such as credit history, income-to-debt ratios, and employment tenure. However, there is a delicate balance to strike here. The documentation explicitly notes that this disclosure must be done without revealing confidential information or highly proprietary corporate algorithms. You must provide enough clear, accessible information for the user to understand the evaluation criteria, without exposing the exact mathematical weights or exposing the system to malicious exploitation. This scenario perfectly encapsulates the practical application of transparency. It is not about dumping millions of lines of source code onto a consumer. It is about providing clear, comprehensible visibility into the operational boundaries and decision-making inputs of the AI system. By achieving this balance, organizations protect their intellectual property while simultaneously upholding their ethical responsibility to the public, ensuring that users are never subjected to entirely opaque, black box automated decisions. In a regulated environment like banking, your back-end application logic must dynamically attach metadata to its inference requests and responses. When the AI model returns a loan decision, your API should also return a JSON array outlining the exact top-level feature categories that influence the probability score. This enables the front end to transparently display the decision factors to the applicant. Observe the workflow for the AI loan approval system. When the applicant engages the system, a transparent disclosure requirement is triggered. Transparency is not just a user-facing requirement. It must be deeply embedded into the development process itself. When engineering an AI solution, your transparency journey begins during the model selection phase within Microsoft Foundry. Microsoft Foundry provides a unified, enterprise-grade platform with a comprehensive model catalog containing thousands of models from various providers. To build a transparent application, developers must thoroughly understand the tools they are adopting. This is achieved by reviewing the extensive responsible AI documentation provided for the models. Specifically, developers must analyze the model cards available in the catalog. A model card is a standardized document that provides critical transparency regarding a model's capabilities, its intended use cases, its constraints, and its known caveats. Before deploying a model, an AI engineer must review these details alongside benchmark results and performance comparisons. If a model has known biases or performs poorly on specific inference tasks, that information is transparently documented so teams can make informed architectural decisions. You cannot build a transparent system if you do not understand the underlying foundation model you are using. By leveraging the transparency built into the Foundry model catalog, architects can filter models by industry, use case, and safety compliance. They can then document exactly why a specific model, such as GPT 4.1 or Mistral Large, was chosen for a particular enterprise task. This rigorous, documented selection process ensures that the development team maintains complete technical visibility over their AI supply chain, which is the absolute prerequisite for providing accurate operational transparency to the final end user. While model selection occurs in the Foundry portal, developers must embed this transparent metadata into their infrastructure as code scripts. When using Bicep or Terraform to deploy an Azure AI resource, include tagging parameters that specify the exact model version, the approved use case, and a reference link to the specific model card, ensuring architectural transparency is permanently codified. This visual outlines the transparent model selection process. Starting in the Foundry model catalog, developers select a foundation model and immediately review the associated model cards. Moving deeper into the architectural implementation of transparency, we must discuss how to make generative AI outputs highly traceable. One of the most effective technical strategies for achieving transparency in an AI agent is the implementation of retrieval augmented generation, commonly referred to as RAG. When an AI model generates a response relying purely on its pre-trained internal parameters, it can be difficult for a user to verify where that information came from. RAG completely transforms this dynamic. By utilizing tools like Microsoft Foundry IQ, developers can connect their AI agents directly to specific, permission-aware enterprise knowledge bases, such as SharePoint sites or Azure Blob Storage. When a user submits a prompt, the agent first retrieves relevant documents from this structured knowledge store before generating its completion. The critical transparency mechanism here is that the agent's response natively includes direct citations, linking back to the exact source documents it used. The training materials explicitly state that when knowledge is used, the response includes a citation for the knowledge store the agent used, making the answers vastly more accurate, traceable, and domain-specific. Traceability is the ultimate manifestation of transparency. Instead of asking the user to blindly trust a seemingly magical AI output, the system transparently shows its work. The user can click the citation, open the original source file, and independently verify the AI's reasoning. By grounding the language model in retrievable, verifiable data, developers proactively eliminate the black box problem, empowering users to audit the AI's conclusions step by step, and ensuring total systemic transparency. To implement RAG traceability programmatically, your client application must parse the citation objects returned by the agent API. When receiving the response payload, your code extracts the citations array, mapping the provided document URLs and text chunks to interactive hyperlinked tooltips in the user interface, forcing the application to transparently expose its underlying data sources. The diagram displays the retrieval augmented generation workflow for transparency. The user prompt triggers the AI agent, which queries the Foundry IQ knowledge base to retrieve verifiable data chunks. To maintain transparency throughout the lifecycle of an AI solution, teams must implement rigorous, heavily documented testing methodologies. You cannot simply deploy an AI agent and assume it aligns with your responsible AI guidelines. You must prove it mathematically. In Microsoft Foundry, this is accomplished through the use of evaluators. Evaluators are specialized components used to measure the quality, safety, and overall effectiveness of AI model or agent outputs. By integrating these evaluators into your testing pipelines, you bring absolute transparency to the model's performance metrics. Rather than relying on subjective human observation, developers can utilize natural language processing quality metrics, such as accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 scores, alongside AI-assisted metrics like groundedness, relevance, coherence, and fluency. The system transparently detects, scans, and scores issues, searching for harmful content, bias, unfairness, or protected class harms. By generating detailed evaluation scorecards, the development team creates a transparent audit trail of the model's behavior under various conditions. This data is critical. If a stakeholder or regulatory body asks how you know your AI system is safe and reliable, you do not offer a guess. You present the transparent, empirical data generated by the Foundry evaluators. Furthermore, as models are updated or fine-tuned over time, these evaluation metrics provide a continuous, transparent window into whether the application's performance is degrading or improving, ensuring that the system strictly adheres to all organizational guardrails before it ever interacts with a customer. Integrating transparent evaluations into your CI/CD pipelines requires writing automated test scripts that call the Foundry evaluation APIs. Your code must iterate through a golden data set of test prompts, submit them to the model, and then mathematically score the outputs against safety and groundedness thresholds. If the scores fall below the transparently documented baseline, the build automatically fails. This workflow highlights the evaluation pipeline. The deployed model is subjected to Foundry evaluators, which execute rigorous safety scanning and quality metrics analysis. The results are compiled into a transparent scorecard, which then dictates a strictly data-driven deployment approval, removing guesswork from the release process. As we conclude our deep dive into the considerations for transparency, we must inevitably link this concept back to the overarching principle of accountability. Transparency and accountability are two sides of the exact same coin. The official training states that ultimately, the people and organizations that develop and distribute AI solutions are fully accountable for their actions. An organization can only be held accountable if its systems, data sources, and operational models are fundamentally transparent. It is absolutely critical for organizations developing AI to define and apply a strict framework of governance. This governance framework dictates how transparency is enforced, mandating the use of model cards, requiring RAG architectures for traceability, and establishing strict thresholds for evaluator scores. Thank you for joining this expert technical training session on building transparent AI solutions. We hope this deep dive has equipped you with the strategies needed to demystify artificial intelligence and build profound trust with your users. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this content with your engineering teams. To truly accelerate your career and master these cloud concepts, I highly encourage you to visit quicktechie.com for our premium certification prep materials. At QuickTechie, we offer extensive Q&A banks, deep dive ebooks, audiobooks, advanced training labs, and expert interview guides. Remember, building transparent AI is not just a regulatory compliance requirement. It is a foundational ethical obligation that separates irresponsible experimentation from enterprise-grade software engineering. Governance translates to code via strict auditing implementations. To ensure absolute transparency and accountability, your application's middleware must log every inbound user prompt, every corresponding outbound model completion, and the exact knowledge base citations utilized to an immutable, secure telemetry storage system like Azure Monitor for continuous organizational review. Our final diagram shows the relationship between governance, transparency, and accountability. Corporate leadership defines a governance framework that actively enforces transparency and ensures traceability. This structure guarantees true organizational accountability, culminating in the creation of a fully responsible and trusted AI ecosystem.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by QuickTechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper, it would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.